How's it going, everyone? My name is Wenbo Zhao. I'm going to be our instructor for this Blender 3.0 masterclass. Huge welcome, all of you guys to be here, and I'm so excited to show you my workflow and helping all of you to get into 3D and to getting the result that you want. As you can see, some of you already know we are inside of Photoshop, so don't panic. This is not going to be a Photoshop tutorial, and it's just somewhere that we are wanting to start with our general introduction, and then we are eventually ended up in the Photoshop again. After we doing all this rendering, we're gonna finish our post-processing in here. Without further ado, let's get it started. So the first thing I want to talk about is the hardware that you eventually going to use for this class, for Blender in general. So it's going to be a 3-button mouth, and as you can see here, these are two mouths that I've used in the past, and they can be pretty similar. So definitely have a click button. One stuff I'm really looking for is scrolling wheels. It's very important. We're gonna have that, and also sometimes when you're purchasing the mouth, you're making sure that scrolling wheels that actually can click it, so rather than just scrolling it. Another thing I want to point it out is that the programmable buttons on the side, as you can see here, these buttons have like 1, 2, 3, at least 3 buttons on the side that when you are moving around, you can actually using a thumb to kind of click it and to utilizing these buttons. And this one's more like a gaming PC mouse, it's having a lot of buttons on the side. You don't need that much, and you can only just need to at least 3. This is preferred because when we actually jump into the Blender program, I'm going to show you why we needed these 3 buttons to program in the way that you can quickly navigate your views inside of the software. But if you tight on budget and you couldn't find these mouths, that's okay. Next one we're going to talk about is the keyboard. So the reason I'm calling the full keyboard is because I'm looking for this number pad key on this side. Some of you may just using the laptop as your primary computer, and you are only for the laptop, you don't have this number pad key on the side. You only have these numbers on the top of that. The simple reason is that when having these number pad key, when you having pressing certain number on there, and actually combine with other buttons to do the shortcut in the Blender, very convenient to have one. And if you have a laptop, I would suggest you still purchase some kind of like full keyboard. It can be a very cheap keyboard on the side, just having these number pad keys on the side. That's preferable. And for the between PC and the Mac, well, honestly, I used to be a Mac user for years, and but because it's just fine with just only photo images and processing. But when I actually get into 3D and the CGI, I realized that PC is the way to go. No hard feeling for Mac users, but if you're really serious about getting into the 3D, and I would definitely suggest you to pick a PC as your primary computer. And as you can see here, this is the hardware requirement for Blender website. You can go there every time you download a new version and check and making sure your minimum hardware is already made, and what kind of the graphic card that is supporting on your PC. So I'm not gonna get into too much on these for this. I just want to let you know that you can find this information on your own. And other input device, this is our 2 primarily device for special modeling or even say sculpting. For this course, you don't need to buy these 2. All right, speaking of software, of course, we are going to need our lovely Blender software, which is amazingly 100% free. And you can go to the blender.org and download. You can find this page, and the current stable version is a 3.0. Last but not least, the software we are going to use for post-processing, which means after we get all the renders done, we are gonna do some minor adjustment, adding some sharpening and noise, and also doing some a little bit manipulation to getting the best quality of final images out. So there are 2 options. For Photoshop, most of you guys already know this is industry standard, but it also costs some money, monthly fee to utilize that. But if you're already working professionals, you will have that tool in your toolbox. And the other one is, I think it's called Krita, and that's actually another software that's very similar to Photoshop, but it's 100% free and open source. It's just like Blender, but it has kind of limited functions compared to Photoshop, and there's certainly some learning curve for that. All right. This is all we want to cover for the very first intro, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.